The S550 Shelby GT350 versus the S550 10-speed automatic Mustang GT. Guys, this is a video that I have really been wanting to make. Reason being is because, well, if you get a fully loaded 10-speed automatic Mustang GT, especially if it's between the years 2020 and 2024-5, you are looking at the same cost as a slightly used Shelby GT350. And Maverick over here got the 10-speed GT, I got the Shelby. His was 40, slightly used, 12,000 miles, 2020. Does have a base interior. Mine is a little optioned out, some modifications. Mine was 52,000 with about 8,000 miles on it. So, man, I'm gonna cover everything that you would want to know about deciding between which car should you get. And they are so different, trust me. So first things first, to cover the 10-speed Mustang GT exterior design, well, in 2018, not only did it get the 10-speed automatic transmission, but it did get a nice little subtle but pretty noticeable redesign for people who like Mustangs. So first of all, you have much angrier slanted headlights. I like this side-by-side comparison because you can really tell how much more mean those look. You get heat extractors right on the hood on the 18 models and later, and just the angles in the front slightly different to make the whole thing come together and look a bit more angry. When you jump over to this, well, the racing stripes kind of give it away as a GT350. Some GTs will have racing stripes, but most of the time, if you see racing stripes, you know what you're looking at. Shelby badge, whereas this one has the Mustang logo. Nice big front splitter that has Shelby going across it, whereas a bit of a smaller splitter and nothing special down there. Now moving along to the side here, both cars are gonna have aftermarket wheels, so we won't spend any time on that. But on the GT, you get the 5.0 badge, and move along to the GT350, of course you get the 350 badge with a nice little vent on the side. When I was first getting into cars, that's actually one of the first things I looked for with Mustangs to determine what it was, if it was a GT or a 350, and of course the 500s just look beefed up and insane. So in the back, the tires here are going to be 325 on my car, and in the back of Maverick's Mustang GT, he has 305. So both very, very meaty tires. And now let's talk about the good stuff. What is under these hoods? And what's under this one is really, really special. The reason why I chose this one, but trust me when I say, if you are looking at a GT350, you might actually want to consider the 5.0 for quite a few reasons, and we'll definitely go over those. But underneath the hood here is a 5.2 liter flat plane crank V8, 526 horsepower, and torque is gonna be in the 420s, 430s. Move along to this one, 460 horsepower, so 66 horsepower less than the GT350, and it makes 420 pound-feet of torque. So right around the same torque. 7,500 RPM redline versus 8,250. And honestly, guys, after the redo on the GTs, kind of makes the 350 a little bit less special because the jump in RPM between the two cars is not as drastic as it was back in 2016 and 17. Also, it is definitely worth noting, if you do open up your hood a lot, it is nice to have hood struts, whereas this one does not have hood struts. Not a big deal, but still. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and start off with the 2020 Mustang GT. 20,000 miles on it. Let's give it a start. Oh man, guys, the rumble from a GT is something. 21 miles per gallon.
Yeah, it usually gets a little higher if I drive like a normal human being.
Mine gets 15. Dude, oh my gosh.
Like, I think I've sent you a picture for where my old GT got like 30.
That is insane. Guys, well, we're starting this off by saying the GT is unfortunately a lot more efficient than the GT350. That is bizarre. All right, let's go ahead and, as always, start this video off with a nice little pull. And my gosh, the low end grumble on this car is, it sounds so different from the GT350, as you'll hear once we get driving that. All right, let's do it.
Sometimes I don't even feel like I'm in my own car. Like, it's crazy.
What do you mean by that?
Like, it's like, wow.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
living
like
the dream, you know what I mean?
Yes. Guys, The reason why these are crashed so often is because so many people just go from a regular car to a Mustang GT. It does definitely bother me when people call the Mustang GT slow, because 460 horsepower, 3,800 pounds, you're living in another world if you actually think that is slow. Speed is relative. For somebody that has not driven crazy cars, hop in this thing, it will feel like an actual supercar. And as somebody that has driven a lot of cars, I mean, this thing still, you can get arrested in about 5 seconds, depending on the road that you're on.
That's true.
Guys, not to spoil what it's like to drive the 350 over the Mustang GT, but I just want to say, I feel like compared to the 350, I could just lay back. I could maybe, I don't know, drink out of a coconut, because this feels like I'm on vacation compared to the ride in the GT350. That thing is no joke when it comes to feeling just about every single bump on the road. But this, the 10-speed automatic transmission to shift way faster than any human will ever be able to. You can just kind of coast. Everything feels really nice and smooth, and so do those shifts as well. I mean, I am loving the daily ability of this car. We have a little opportunity to get on it, so let's do that here. Guys, so many gears to shift through. Look at that. Finally. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Maverick, you came from a 6-speed Mustang GT, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this upgrade has got to feel pretty insane.
It feels crazy. I can feel the difference in the transmission, the responsiveness. Even though it's like a little bit more horsepower, you can still kind of tell the difference.
Yes.
In a way. And definitely the sound, because you have quad tips compared to dual tip exhaust.
Yep. Guys, the 2017 Mustang GT compared to the Shelby GT350 is not even a conversation. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. The stock 17 GT sounds like actual, like pretty much like a vacuum cleaner. The red line is way too early. This has been extended. The shifts, bulletproof transmission, by the way, but the shifts are just much slower than this experience. And so, if you're going to be racing, this versus a GT350, you have to have a pretty good shifter to beat the 10-speed Mustang GT. All right, you guys, this is going to be one of the more interesting comparisons here, and that's going to be the cornering on the two cars. I don't want to make any assumptions just yet, but let's put the Mustang GT to the test, and let's go ahead and actually, you know what? This would be a great opportunity to do a 0 to 60 test, may we?
Yes.
All right, you guys, we got a little bit of an uphill, but nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and start this and see how it does. 5.3, mind you, uphill. So that is actually not bad. We also lost traction. We got two people in the car. I mean, I will absolutely take that. And let's throw it into the corners here. Yeah, that is not bad. I will say, when you go from left to right, that is when you kind of feel the weight of this car. It definitely feels better than some 3,800 pound cars. But yeah, you definitely do feel the more bulkiness in this car. But mind you, again, this is not the track car. This is the do it all in one type of car.
Remember, it's still part of the American muscle heritage. So it's heavy, but it's powerful.
Yes, and you feel this thing. You really do feel like you are behind the wheel of a true muscle car.
Right.
Again, we'll really dive into the GT350 in a second, but I have to say that the 350, there's so many muscle car things taken away to make the GT350. This just has the muscle car sound. This has the muscle car feel. The 350 has just a different shaped front hood when you're looking out over the dash here. The cornering is way different. It makes more of a race car sound, as you'll hear, than it does that deep rumble muscle car type of sound. So, yeah, that is a very good point. That this is a great car to look at if you just love muscle. Now, I do want to touch on the interior of the Mustang GT. So, pretty big complaint if you're kind of being forced to complain about something. But mind you, again, the money is the performance. It's not in the interior. Otherwise, this car would just be way more expensive than it is. I'd rather have this car at the price point it's at than have it be 10, 20 grand more, but a nice interior. Everything is fine. I mean, again, you have the 0 to 60 timers. You have your gauge modes if you want to see some of your car's information. Mustang logo, you know, nothing too crazy. What I do really like is that. I've never seen that.
55 years.
That's awesome.
Exactly at 2020, so 55.
That is awesome. I wonder if that bumps the value of this car up like a little bit.
I don't know, maybe it does.
It could. Yeah, guys, the 350, quite a bit of a makeover in the interior, but you're going to see some similarities. So, still feels great though in here. Again, Maverick did not opt to get the electronics package, so no digital dash, no larger infotainment screen, but that stuff, the electronics package, is $3,000. So, you know, is that really worth a larger screen? Probably not.
And as someone who drives this daily, it's doable. Like, I have no complaints at all. Zero in terms of interior. I can drive it and I wouldn't be like, damn, this sucks. I wish I got a Mercedes. No. Like, I'm happy with what I have. On top of that, performance, sound, you literally have everything.
If you know Mustangs, well, these two cars have a very, very unique and distinct sound from each other, and that's just 10% of the reason for why they're such different cars. Let's waste no time and get moving here. Now, another big thing that the GT350 does have over the Mustang GT is going to be a bit of a more special feeling interior with some elements that, well, make you realize you're in something that is just maybe a step up or just more like limited than what a Mustang GT has to offer. Now, what I'm looking forward to is we have Maverick, the owner of the 2020 GT, sitting next to us. First time in a 350, right?
Oh yeah, first time in any Shelby.
All right, man. So I am looking forward to hearing, you know, what you think of it, what your reactions are.
It already sounds sick. Like, I've never seen Recaros before or anything, but I don't think that's Shelby exclusive, right? You can get it like in any car.
Yes.
But I see the interior, I see this, like all of this. It's very special compared to what I've owned.
Yeah, not too much of a difference, but yeah, it's the subtle touches that really just change things up a little bit.
As a Mustang owner, you can tell like the big differences.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and do a little poll. You ready?
Yes.
First thoughts?
Oh my god, like, I can just fly behind the car right now. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, this you definitely feel the extra 66 horsepower over the Mustang GT.
Yes, my GT cannot do this, and you drove that. You've drove like 10 speeds before.
Yes.
And my car cannot do something like that. Like, I'm getting kicked back by the car.
Actually, let's start with sound. What do you think of the sound?
It's rowdy. Compared to mine, it is very rowdy. Very muscly. It screams America. But we're in North Korea today, so it's fine.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, and those pops, oh my god.
All right, guys, let's throw this thing into normal mode. And by the way, another big thing that does make this feel just a tad bit more special over the Mustang GT is the adjustable drive modes that the Mustang GT does not have. So this does have adjustable dampers and an active exhaust. Now, you can get an active exhaust in a Mustang GT, but you did not opt for that, correct?
No.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Shelby GT350s come standard with that. You can get a 350 with the smaller screen. Honestly, guys, the electronics package is very expensive, so it's about $3,000. I do not blame people who just want to save the money and get the car for performance reasons. Also, when you are behind the wheel of the GT350, I mean, again, you just have those subtle things that you're experiencing well behind the wheel of this car, even if you're not going fast. So, for example, your hands are touching the very soft Alcantara steering wheel. You have the big snake to stare at. Those Recaros are really gripping on your sides. And as soon as you do start cornering, you really realize you are planted in this seat and not going anywhere. And trust me, we will hit some corners in just a second to test the difference between how the two cars corner. Throw it back into sport.
Oh my god, this is like my first time being in a car that pops. Mine does like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But like that's every full moon, okay?
Yeah.
So, wow.
I will say both cars are very satisfying to just accelerate at a slow speed. Like when we were in your car, simply just letting the thing go and just hearing that dark grumble. It's like, that's what I love about these cars. You don't always feel the need to go super fast, both in this and the GT. Let's do a little first gear. I think you said it really nicely yourself. This just has a bit more of a higher pitch racing type of exhaust note, right?
Yes.
Yes. As promised, let's see how this thing does in the corners here.
Those tires grip.
Yes.
And so do these seats.
Yes. Guys, all the subtle touches with this car really do come together to make it just a much more track-focused experience. Now, I am glad that you brought up reliability, because that's actually a huge win for the 10-speed Mustang GT. Reason being is my engine, this car only has 11,600 miles on it, and yet the engine consumes 1 quart every 500 miles, and that is not a good sign for the longevity of my engine. Not to mention, you know, it's not like super common, but some GT350 owners have claimed that their motors just spontaneously combusted. So that's always a great sign when you're an owner of one of these. But please don't worry about that if you do own one. I mean, I bought one because I know there's always going to be horror stories of literally owning any car. So do not let that stop you from buying a GT350. However, the 5.0 is such a proven platform, and it is ready to handle a lot of power too. So keeping that thing stock at 460 horsepower, well, you're just not going to run into any issues like at all, unless you get really unlucky or you, I don't know, somehow mess it up, but you should not.
Rely like 24 hours a day.
Yeah, literally, like putting a brake on the accelerator and then just stepping away. Even though that it might last for a while if you do that, because those things, they can take a serious beating and be just fine. All in all, guys, absolutely phenomenal car. Thank you to Maverick for letting us drive his 2020 GT. But yeah, phenomenal daily driver. It is most certainly fast enough. In fact, too fast for most people, because that's why Mustangs are crashed all the time. A bunch of inexperienced people getting in a car that some people think is slow, yet they can't handle 460 horsepower. Because at the end of the day, that's a lot. There's a lot of inflation going on with what people say is slow or fast nowadays. But yeah, if you're gonna get a Mustang GT, I would say get a 10-speed. Absolutely love driving this thing. Could it be faster? Sure. But again, for most people, plenty of power. If you guys have any questions, please drop in the comments, and me or Maverick will respond. And see you guys in the next video. Peace out.